I guess we got to talk about this. Hey everyone, welcome to Superhero Speak. Of course, I'm your host Dave, and I'm doing something a little different on the channel this week. And look for me more of these to come out later. This is a rant. I used to do these in written form on the website, but decided to do this as a video, and I would like to continue on doing these. It's my outlet for getting my frustration about an issue out. And yeah, so this one I'm starting with is because it's the big controversy this week. And the funny thing about this controversy is no one's covering it. None of the nerd websites I normally follow, nerd news or comic book websites, have talked about this. And it's all over social media. Every artist that I know pretty much has complained about this on social media. The ones I'm friends with, the ones that I follow, and, yeah, I don't know why the nerd sites aren't talking about it. We'll maybe get into that in a little bit. But what I am talking about, of course, is the Spawnuary controversy. And if you're not familiar with this, I'll explain. So, Todd McFarlane did a contest where he let independent artists create covers for Spawn. This was this past January. There were 4 categories, 1 each week. Of course, regular Spawn, Spawn the Gunslinger, Scorched, and Villains. And he was gonna pick 1 winner each week and feature their art on the cover of an upcoming issue. And, he had also said when he announced it in the rules, AI generated submissions will not be accepted this time around. So, uh, that is right from the official rules. And, yeah, and so everyone got to work. My girlfriend's son is a very talented artist, uh, and he is currently in college for art, and I encouraged him to try and submit something. Um, my son is I did the same thing, but he's not a Spawn fan, so he didn't want to do it. Neither did my girlfriend's son. Fine, but we all were kind of curious who was going to win, and yeah, so they just this week announced here are the winners. Notice anything about this, boys and girls? The first thing I think you might notice is there are multiple winners for each category, and when there originally was supposed to be 1 winner per category. But the one I want to point out here, um, boys and girls, is on the villain category, the Robot 9000, and he is the one creating all of this controversy right now, and there's a very good reason for it. Um, he's an AI artist. He used Midjourney, typed in a prompt, create an image of a Spawn villain, and it spat out a piece of work. He submitted it, and he got picked as a winner, and that's a big issue. And you might be sitting there saying, some of you might be sitting there saying, "Why is that a big issue?" Well, because it's not art. I'm sorry, and I know there are people out there right now who are doing this who are like, "Oh, this is really art," and there are people that, don't understand the controversy. Let me start with the big one that most people don't understand about how AI works. See, I'm gonna, you know, get a little more nerdy here because I'm a software developer in real life. I understand a lot of these things, how they work behind the scenes. These are algorithms that are written by a developer. They're not intelligence. There's no real intelligence behind these things. It's all done um, through repeated steps that, and just the software is able to go through things really fast and make it look like it's making a decision, but it's going through a series of ones and zeros, yes and nos that were programmed by some developer somewhere. And one of the things they do with the art programs is they train them. And how do they train them? Well, they have them go on the internet and scan images of um, things over and over and over again. So it might, if you type spawn and go to the images tab in Google, that's what it's doing. And it's grabbing all those images and it's saving them into a database. So if you say, give me a picture of spawn, it's going to go through those images and create a composite of all of those images. It's not creating something new, it's a composite of existing art. There have been examples where you can specifically see parts of existing art from like a Batman image. Um, Being reused in an AI image because it's not a person, it's not a human being. There's no soul there that's creating this art. It is just a composite of images that it finds. And that's an issue because none of those artists are getting credit for this art that's being stolen. And in fact, I'm willing to bet that this winner Robot 9000 when, the whatever tool he used was using actual Spawn covers, and maybe that is why Todd McFarlane liked it so much because, "Hey, this looks really good," because it looks like your work, Todd, or Greg, Capullo's art, one of the other, because, you know, it was stolen from you. So, yeah, that's the first issue. The second issue, and we've talked about this on the podcast quite a bit, is that, if it keeps doing this, eventually it's going to start copying itself, and before you know it, it's gonna lose a lot of quality. Um, there will be copies of copies of copies from the AI, and eventually everything will start looking exactly the same, and it'll be terrible. It's terrible already in my opinion, but, I'm not the arbiter of everything that's beautiful. I'm just telling you this is terrible. Um So where do we go from here? I don't know. See, I also think the really bad part about this is he promised no AI art. He picked an AI art. There's a lot of people who are speculating that's why he picked multiple winners, and hopefully people would be appeased by that and not make a big stink. But we need to make a big stink because if one of the top artists of the industry, one of the most well known and respected creators, is saying, "Oh, no, here's a winner who used AI." He's saying it's okay. It's okay to use AI art. That's a signal to the rest of the industry. Now, what's the rest of Image gonna do? Is Image gonna start using AI for all of their covers? And the other thing that, I almost forgot to mention is the artist himself, put a post on social media after all this controversy and basically said, catch up, the rest of you. You're just jealous because I'm ahead of the curve and I created this from my mind. You didn't create anything. You wrote in a prompt and he's insulting actual artists who spent time and worked really hard to try to win a contest. And yeah, it's just not right. And I don't know what else to say about that piece of it, but yeah, he says been an artist, he's in his 50s and he's been an artist for decades, but I I'm gonna guess you weren't that good, that you weren't able to make it as an artist, so now you're just using AI because of your lack of actual talent, because I would think if you were really an artist, again, he's claiming this, we don't know, obviously he's hiding behind a fake screen name, um, who knows, who this guy really is, but yeah, I mean, think about it. He, if he really was an artist, he'd wanna do his own work. He'd wanna be proud. And I'm also gonna say this, I'm not against using AI tools, like, a legitimate, tool might be an AI lighting plugin where, um, you create a basic, line art, you color it in, and then use an AI tool to create the light and shadow. Like, maybe it's not the best, thing in the world, but that's not creating the entire piece from AI. That's you saying, and then you decide where the light goes. And there's a lot of the tools nowadays have things like that built in. I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue with writing in a prompt and it spits something out and you go, "Ooh, look what I created." No, no, you didn't create anything. Um, art is from the soul. Art is the artist. True art. The artist is giving a piece of themselves to the world in their art. I just wrote a song for my girlfriend for Valentine's Day. And that was me giving a piece of my soul to her, right? Like that's what art really is. So when you write something in a prompt and a computer spits it out, there's no soul in that. There's no art. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me. You can let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with me. Um, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you disagreeing with me because I will say it until the day I'm not on this earth anymore. It's not art. No, real art comes from a person. It comes from the soul. So, yeah, I guess the somewhat happy conclusion to this story is this quote unquote artist, Robot 9000, has taken all of his quote unquote art offline because of all the controversy around this. Hopefully he disappears. I'm sure he'll just create a new screen name and start creating under that. But yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully he's done. Yeah. So here's the thing: if you're a creator, um, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about this controversy. And if you're a regular person and you don't understand, talk to an artist. Talk to someone you know who actually creates art. Maybe an art student, maybe somebody who goes to cons and is trying to sell the work that they've created, whether that be, uh, you know, some kind of 3D model or I don't mean 3D model like a computer model. I mean like, toys and stuffies and those kinds of things. Those who are comic book artists and who have selling their actual arts, those who are independent comic creators, talk to those people, see what they think of this. And you'll begin to see that, yeah, this is gonna hurt a lot of people. And to the AI artists out there who are like, "Oh, I have to think really hard, and I have to put a couple different prompts in until I get what I want." Why do they need you? You're not a creator. If Todd McFarlane wanted to create AI covers for Spawn, he could just go into Midjourney himself and type in prompts and go, "Boom, here's a cover, move on." He doesn't need you, you're not an artist. The computer's doing it, not you. Realize that you're not creating anything. The computer's creating it, so you don't need a middleman to type in a prompt. Anyone, any company can just type in the prompt. All you're doing is eliminating jobs for actual artists, and you're never going to get a job as an AI artist. Give it up. Seriously, it's not art. Please think about it. Well, I'm done ranting. So we'll probably discuss this more live this Sunday night at 8:30 over on youtube.com/superheroes speak. Please, if you're watching this, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss us when we do go live on Sunday nights. Click the bell for notification when new videos like this go up. Again, there will be more rants coming soon, I promise. And yeah, I'll end with saying hug an artist. So until next time, as always, thanks for watching and don't let your cape get caught in the door.